Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to The Tonight Show. You're here. The Tonight Show. We have a big show for you tonight. Jack Black is here tonight. Jack Black. Before we get to the show, let's get to some news first. Everybody's talking about this. Today, President Trump fired Attorney General Pam Bondi. The hardest thing about getting fired by Trump is pretending to be sad when he tells you, you know? Of course, being fired by Trump is never fun. Kristi Noem was like, true, but things can definitely get worse, so. Meanwhile, when Trump realized he fired the woman with access to all the Epstein files, he was like, oh, crap. Pam, you're not fired, you're redacted. Apparently, Trump was also upset that Bondi didn't go after his enemies. Bondi was like, so you want me to arrest NATO, Bruce Springsteen, and the ice cream machine at McDonald's? He's like, it never works. It never works. Yep, Trump's on a bit of a firing spree. First Kristi Noem, then Pam Bondi. Ironically, the only staffer who has immunity is RFK Jr. How weird? Interesting, right? Think about it. Some more news from Washington last night. In a primetime address, Trump spoke for 19 minutes about the war and didn't have anything new to say. You know you nailed the primetime address when everyone's reaction is, you interrupted the Masked Singer for this? Yep, Trump didn't have much to say. It's like when your iPhone has an important update and then it just adds 2 new emojis. Yeah. Well, during Trump's big speech, he used a teleprompter, and it turns out he really relies on it. Check out what Trump's staff puts on the teleprompter to get him to say what they want. Watch this.
Let me begin by congratulating the team at NASA and our brave astronauts. It will be traveling further than any manned rocket has ever flown and will very substantially pass the moon. Remember, because of our Drill Baby Drill program, America has plenty of gas. We have so much gas. It would lead to decades of extortion, economic pain, and instability worse than we can ever imagine. I can say tonight that we are on track to complete all of America's military objectives shortly, very shortly.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today we are talking about Jimmy Fallon's monologue, and he went after the biggest political stories of the week with some sharp, hilarious jokes. He covered Trump firing Pam Bondi, Trump's rambling primetime address about Iran, NASA's broken toilet, and even Mr. Monopoly getting hacked. Let me break it all down for you because there is a lot to unpack. Jimmy started by welcoming the audience and then immediately jumped into the news. President Trump fired Attorney General Pam Bondi. The audience cheered. Jimmy said the hardest thing about getting fired by Trump is pretending to be sad when he tells you. Then he made a joke about Kristi Noem, who was also fired. He said Kristi Noem was like, true, but things can definitely get worse, so. Then Jimmy pointed out that Trump realized he fired the woman who had access to all the Epstein files. And Trump was like, oh, crap. Pam, you are not fired. You are redacted. The audience laughed. Jimmy said Trump was also upset that Bondi did not go after his enemies. Then Jimmy imagined Bondi asking Trump, so you want me to arrest NATO, Bruce Springsteen, and the ice cream machine at McDonald's? And Trump said, it never works. It never works. Jimmy then noted that Trump is on a firing spree. First Kristi Noem, then Pam Bondi. Ironically, the only staffer who has immunity is RFK Jr. Jimmy said. Isn't that weird? Interesting, right? If you think about it. The audience applauded. Then MMY moved on to Trump's primetime address about Iran. Trump spoke for 19 minutes and did not have anything new to say. Jimmy said, you know you nailed the primetime address when everyone's reaction is, you interrupted the Masked Singer for this. He compared Trump's speech to an iPhone update that just adds 2 new emojis. Then Jimmy showed a clip of Trump using a teleprompter. The clip was edited to make it look like Trump was reading random, disconnected phrases. He congratulated NASA, talked about drill baby drill, said America has plenty of gas, and then suddenly said something about decades of extortion and economic pain. It was classic late-night editing, making Trump look confused and rambling. The audience laughed. Then Jimmy showed another clip. This time it was a fake Trump announcement. Trump said he had a new plan to make his presidency the greatest in history. And the plan was simple. Flip all the charts upside down. The stock market, skyrocketing. Gas prices, way down. Measles, gone. And his 33% approval rating? Now 67%. Round that up to 100. Then he quoted Missy Elliott. "I'm just gonna put my thing down, flip it, and reverse it." Then he made gibberish sounds. Then he said, "It is the only idea I have left. Okay. Bye." The audience was dying. It was a perfect parody of Trump's chaotic speaking style and his obsession with ratings and charts. Then Jimmy switched gears to NASA. NASA successfully launched a historic 10-day mission around the moon. Audience cheered. But then Jimmy dropped the bad news. Shortly after launch, the toilet aboard the Artemis II rocket broke. He said it suddenly went from a billion-dollar rocket to a carnival cruise in space. The astronauts could not use the bathroom for 6 hours. The ground crew was like, "Do you have to make an Artemis I or an Artemis II? Sorry to get personal." Then Jimmy joked that Mario and Luigi were in the galaxy and fixed it right up. It was a quick reference to the Super Mario movie, which was a fun touch. Then Jimmy introduced a spaceflight expert named Michael Rothby from the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Michael came out with a model of the rocket. He was very enthusiastic. He made rocket sounds. PSH, FSO, FSO. Jimmy asked what was going to happen next. Michael said maybe asteroids would fly by and they would have to change course. More sound effects. Then Jimmy started making alien noises. Bleep blorp. Where? Michael got angry. No. No, no, no. There are not aliens. Jimmy kept going. I just thought it would be fun if there was an alien like, "I come in peace." Michael snapped. He said, "He is trying to do aliens. There are not aliens in this." Michael's wife, who was also on stage, told him to let Jimmy play with the model. Michael reluctantly handed it over. He started fake crying. The audience was laughing. Jimmy started making whooshing sounds again. Michael said, "Like gamma rays or something." Jimmy said yes and then started doing the alien again. Michael yelled, "Not aliens. I said it at the beginning. Forget this." He stormed off. Jimmy said, "Michael Rothby, everybody." Michael yelled from offstage, "Keep my name out of your mouth." It was a chaotic, hilarious bit. The contrast between the serious space expert and Jimmy's childish imagination was perfect. Then Jimmy moved on to some lighter news. Bed Bath & Beyond is buying the Container Store for $150 million. Jimmy said, "So now Bed Bath & Beyond owns 2 empty stores." That is a brutal but accurate joke about how both stores are struggling. Then Jimmy talked about a cyber attack on Hasbro, the toy and game company. He introduced Mr. Monopoly to comment. Mr. Monopoly came out looking exactly like the character from the board game. He was panicking. He said the hackers know everything. His home address, his emails, his social security number. But that is not all. They know his Tinder handle is at Mustache Tickler. They know he has been caught at a massage parlor on Baltic Avenue. They know he is in a throuple with Claire and Herman from Guess Who. The audience was losing it. Then Mr. Monopoly said they know Candyland is his favorite strip club. They have all his nudes where he is wearing nothing but a strategically placed top hat. And then he dropped the biggest bombshell. The planter's baby nut? Mr. Peanut is not the father. Mr. Monopoly is. Jimmy tried to stop him. Just stop talking. But Mr. Monopoly kept going. It gets so much worse, Jimmy. I am. In the Epstein files. Jimmy immediately cut him off. Get out of here. Mr. Monopoly, everybody. It was absurd and brilliant. Then Jimmy threw in a quick joke about Reese's. Hershey announced they will soon go back to using chocolate for their Reese's products. Jimmy said, "This raises way more questions than it answers." What were they using before? Cardboard. It is a great one-liner. And finally, a survey found that most people eat their peeps head first. Jimmy said Jesus heard and was like, "Guys, I think we are losing the plot here." Perfect. Then Jimmy transitioned into a story about his daughter pranking him for April Fool's Day. But that is a story for another time. The monologue was packed with political jokes, absurd characters, and silly sound effects. Jimmy Fallon proved once again that he can take the news of the day and turn it into comedy gold. The Trump jokes were sharp. The NASA bit was chaotic. The Mr. Monopoly segment was unhinged. And the Peeps joke was the perfect closer. So here is my question to you in the comments. What was your favorite joke from this monologue? The Trump flipping charts upside down? The broken toilet on the rocket? Or Mr. Monopoly's Tinder handle? Let me know. I read every single comment. As always, like, subscribe.